Yes, dear viewers, today we are going to learn basic setting in AutoCAD 2007. Normally for AutoCAD, for you to have your thing properly displayed in AutoCAD, you need to set the basic settings. So the first is to select the template or to select the drawing units that you're going to use in AutoCAD. So normally AutoCAD have been set in templates, but you can also create your own template. But the simplest is there are template which are imperial and there are template which are what? Matrix. So how do we set this template? We select this template. What you do is you select new, and after selecting new, it will display a number of what? Of templates. So we have several templates here, but for our interest, we are going to pick AutoCAD ISO, which is in what? In metric system, and it will display everything in millimeters. So we can select AutoCAD ISO, then just hit and open, and that one is done. So that is the first setting we have done. How do we know that it is already in a metric system? You can see it from plot, which is print. You find that in a paper size is displaying millimeter, which shows that is already in metric system. That is the way you can easily prove it. So that is the first setting we can do. Then another important thing is normally good to save your work as part of the something that you do when you are starting a new work. You have to save the file name, and for you as student, you can save it with your name and your registration number. The best way to handle it is to create a folder in the desktop. So I'm going to minimize my AutoCAD and create a folder first. Then I come back to AutoCAD screen and I saved it. So now I'm minimizing it. Then in the desktop, I'm going to create a new folder. How do we create new folder? You right click desktop, then you select new as you are seeing it. You select new and it will display the folder, new folder, but now the folder should be in your name. So if the name is maybe job, you can type job. Normally the examiner needs you to put the folder in your name and maybe registration number. So if job registration number is registration number, it doesn't accept most of the character, but now what you do, if the registration number is maybe 2024, instead of putting a stroke, you should put a dash, maybe 200, maybe CP, and the rest. So say this is your name and registration number is showing it in the desktop. So you come back to AutoCAD, I've minimized it, then now you can save your file name. Normally for purpose of examination, your file name is your name. But it depends on how the question comes. So you can go to File, Save As, then you have to go to Desktop. Select Desktop, then your folder is Job. Then you click Open, then maybe the file name again will be Job. Then you save. So that is the setting that you have to do. You have to save your file. It's very, very important to start with saving the file like that. You create a folder in the desktop, then you save your work in the desktop. Now, the next setting that we can do is to set the text height and the text types. Normally in AutoCAD you can write. So we go to Format, then we select Text Style, And now we are able to select the type of text we want to use. Like this text I normally don't use. For me, I use T veranda. So I select T veranda. That is for my case, I use normally T veranda. Let me try to tap. Yeah, I think this one is not bad. I'm not sure whether it's T veranda, but you can say apply. This is okay for me. Then you put the text height. Let's use 100 to be our text height, because sometimes when you don't set the text height, you fail to view the text that you are what you have created. Yeah, so you can say apply, then close the box. Yeah, that one is setting for the text we have finished. And the next setting that you can do is for dimension. You go to dimension style, and then in dimension style, you can even start with new dimension styles. Then you type the type of the what the name of the dimension style that you want to put. If we can put ours to be maybe mm mm. So our dimensions name is mm. Then we can say continue. Then we can begin to set the line now. Under the line, we may not set much. Under the arrow, we can put the arrow size here to be, let me even put it to be 100 and see whether it will work for us. Arrow size 100. Arrow size, I'll put it to 100. And then the center mark size, I leave it the way it is. Then arc length symbol, we have here. We can even leave this one the way it is. Then we go to text. In text, I like the way they have selected. Align with the dimension line is okay. Then we can even put the text height here to be 100. Text height here to be 100. This is okay for me. Then fit. Fit here is okay. Fit text or arrow. This one is okay. Here we don't set anything. The next thing to set is precision. So the precision here, we are going to select 0. And you see how it display our text. You select 0, then that's how it display our text. This is okay for me. Then I think those are the basic settings we can do from here. We can hit OK. Then maybe we put it to be set current, then set to current, and we close the door. So we are finished setting the dimension. And then another setting is what we can do is we set the layers. Layers, normally you set it according to the work you are doing. If you are drawing a floor plan, in the floor plan you have the text that describes the rooms, you have the dimension that shows the room space, you have the wall that surround the room space and divide the rooms, the house into rooms. Then you have the window that brings the lights and air circulation. You have the doors for the entrance. So all those ones you create it to be different layers. So we're going to create layers by going to layer property manager. So you select layer property manager, and in it you hit new layer. After hitting new layer, a new layer will come, but you put it to the name you want. So the first layer for us sometimes is a bit stubborn, but now it has accepted. So our first layer is going to be wall. Wall. We are not going to change the color. We are leaving it to white. But what we are going to change is the line weight, which we are going to use 0.5 millimeter. And we are going to put a new layer. We put it to be and put it to be door. The line weight, we can put it to be 0.05. Put it to be big, okay. And the color, we can now change the color. We can change the color. We can change the color of door to be this magenta. Is okay. And we move to window. We change the color to be let's use maybe we use yellow for the window. Yellow for the window. Okay. But line weight, we can change it to a different thing. 0.09. Then we hit OK. Then we click new. This one here, we're going to put dimension. Dimension. We can put the color to be, we can even make it red. Dimension color to be red. Then the line weight, can put it to be 0.13. Okay. Then the next layer we can put to be text. Yeah. Text. You can use green. Okay. The line weight we can put 0.15. Okay. Yeah, this one we didn't name it. Okay. This one, yeah, we put it to the window. Okay. Then the next one we can put item. Item will be for furnitures. The next layer is item. I prefer using light gray. The line weight I can use 0.05. Then I say okay. Can say apply and then okay. So I finish with setting the layers. Yeah, so that is the basic setting that you can do in AutoCAD for you to help you view your work. Maybe I can sample it. If you are to write the text, you select this. Then you can type whatever text you want to type, maybe A, B, C. And then you click outside the screen. You will be able to view, but without setting it, this text you will not be able to see because they will be very, very tiny. And maybe if we have a rectangle like this, and then we want to dimension it, select the dimension, you're able to view it because we have set. But if you don't set, you cannot view. But maybe I can sample how to use the layer. How do we use the layer? How do we use the layer? After setting all the layers, the dimension and the text, you are able to see it now. But how do we use the layer? But now let me first delete this, what is on the screen. In order for you to use the layer, you select the layer that you are going to. If you are doing to do a wall, then you select the layer wall from here. You pick from this arrow here. You select the wall. Then you see the line weight will just display it. The line color will also display it. So whatever you draw, it will be wall now, or in the layer of wall. So say now we want to draw our wall here. So this is our wall. Maybe I can say a wall which is the length. We'll pick the line. In order to create the wall, we are going to use line. So now line, then we type the length of the line, which is 10,000 millimeter. You hit enter 2 times. If we are not able to zoom it properly, yeah, you can continue zooming it, it will come, but now it's not zooming what we want. So we type Z, enter, A, enter, then it will zoom properly now from the keyboard. So that line is 10,000 millimeter. In order to see that the line weight is okay, you can select this to display the line weights. So you can deselect it, then the line weight will not be seen. Like now, it is not showing. That normally when you are drawing, it's good to put the line weight off because it will make your drawing heavy. So you can see it by clicking the line weight and it display. So that is wall layer. But now, if our thickness of the wall is 230, then we select this. Offset. Then AutoCAD will ask you the offset distance. You type 230, then you hit enter. Then you select, then you offset. This one is 230. So our wall is 230. Maybe the wall, this length here is, if this the length of wall here is maybe 6,000 millimeter. You type 6,000 millimeter, then you enter 2 times. Then you can offset. If they are all external wall, you can offset it to 230. Then maybe our wall this side is here. You can even copy and bring the wall there. If our wall this side is here, we can even copy this and bring the wall this way. So we are finished with our wall, external wall. Maybe if we want to put a partition wall here, we can pick this. Then there's a small setting that we can do. I'm only demonstrating how to use layer. There's a small setting that you can do here is you right click here in OSNAP, then you click setting. Now you find that midpoint is not dot, center is there, but the midpoint is not ticked. So you take midpoint so that when you are, and then perpendicular. So that when you are what? It will show you the midpoint. So now I want to make a wall now at the midpoint here. So I've selected line and I've done that. And I say offset. I offset, let me offset it to 150. If the thickness is 150, then I hit OK. So that one means that our wall here is now what? 150. Then the external is what? 230. But sometimes you need to trim and clean it. So you can right click, you trim, you select trim, then you right click, then now you trim whatever you want to trim. So now we are finished with drawing the wall. If we want to create a window here, then we change it to layer of what? Of window. So window is here. So now if we have changed it to layer of window, we can now create our window here. You see, you pick line, and you select there. Then you can say offset if the length of our window, the width of our window is maybe 1200, we can use 600. 600, then we offset it both sides, here and then here. So we can delete this. After deleting this, then we trim this. Right click after picking trim, then you right click and you trim this. So we are able now to create our window, and we have selected the right layer. That's why it's displaying the what? The window in the right what? The right layer. So now normally our window, it is showing double line inside here. So what we do is to offset it maybe by let me say 50. Enter. Let me set this by 50. So this one is showing our window. So that's how you can create the window in the right layer. So if we want to create a door here, we can also pick the layer of what? Of door. Yes, we pick the layer of door. So if we are now to draw a door over here, it will be what? In the layer for what? For the door. It will show the layer for the door. So for now, we are stopping here. Thank you so much.